So a lot of normal people, you know, they'll start their days off by, grabbing their phone and just going on their phone, blah, like this, scrolling on. I know this is not phone, but it's all I had. Scrolling on TikTok, checking their messages, doing everything like that. And that's how they start their day, that's immediately how they wake up. That is the I don't know, like the normal way of doing things, I guess. And if you do this, don't you remember? Because I know everybody's grabbed their phone once and started scrolling every day. Like literally everybody's done this once. But when you do this, remember the day after. Did that day feel really good? Or did that day kind of feel, lethargic and kind of boring and, you couldn't really focus or something like that? Because with, oh my God, all day, bro. Because as whenever I do something where I, super high dopamine first thing in the morning, I start to kind of, the rest of the day kind of feels like less productive and I feel almost AFK, like my brain is not really attached to my body and I feel like I'm kind of just watching myself do things, if that makes sense. Like I'm just not really controlling myself. I'm just doing whatever I feel like. So you know how the day kind of feels. So we don't want to do that because that's going to ruin our lives. If we like the first day we go up and do it, like, the first day we go, or no, the first thing in the day, we go do this, we're going to ruin the, the rest of the day. And if we do that every day, we're ruining all of our days. So we need to find something that will, genuinely help us and how to fix how to fix our lives because we cannot be doing all this just kind of scrolling on for hours a day, and especially first thing in the morning when you feel kind of lethargic and your brain is so susceptible to it. We need something else, and what this thing is, it is called like eat the frog. It is some it's the idea is that you do the hardest task of your day, like anything in your day first. Currently I'm doing eat the frog. It's what, 8:25 right now. I've been recording videos for nearly an hour and a half by this point. And this is the first thing I've done all day. Obviously I meditated first. I meditate first every day, but you know recording videos for me is really the hardest thing to do because I have to stay focused. I have to stay engaged with you guys for nearly 2 hours whenever I do this because I record pretty much the week's video in one day. So I spend hours a day or hours today just like talking with you guys, recording videos, and I have to stay focused, which it's tough for me to stay focused for hours trying to do this. So this is my eat the frog today. I because I need to do this. So yeah, okay. Um, but for some people, it might be you have a test to study for, and you need to do like practice problems. So first thing in the morning, you grab a pencil, you grab paper, you do the practice problems for an hour, and then you're done. But whatever it is, the idea of Eat the Frog is you get like the hardest task out of the way first. It's almost like you have a big like nice dinner. You've got a big steak, you've got a nice piece of cake, and then you have a frog. You have to eat all three if you want to leave. So obviously, instead of what you could do is you could grab the steak or and eat the steak first. But then you're kind of there like, oh man, the frog looks disgusting. Although you're eating the steak, you don't even enjoy the steak. You throw the plate away. And you eat the cake. You're still worried about the frog. You don't even enjoy the cake. You throw the cake away. You didn't even enjoy it. And now you're at the frog. You're super anxious. You have no good food to please your palate. You eat the frog. you nearly throw up, and then you have to deal with that aftertaste for the rest of the day. You didn't even get to enjoy the steak or the cake because you were worried about the frog, and life just seems like terrible. Or that's the normal way. You eat the steak and the cake first, and you kind of push off the frog until the end. Or you can do it the right way, and that is the three plates are set out in front of you. You grab that frog, you shove it down your throat. That sounded disgusting, but you shove that thing down your throat. Guzzle it down there. Okay, I need to chill out. But you just tear that thing apart. You eat it as quickly as possible. And then once you're finished with that, then you get to enjoy your steak and your cake. You can cleanse your palate. You don't have to worry about eating the frog anymore. It's done and over with. It's the same idea for, life. It's something where you got to do that hard thing first. Because if you don't do the hardest thing first, and, you're kind of just sit back, you lay in bed, and you're kind of just there like, oh, I'll just push it off. But then slowly, you kind of sitting there like, oh man, I still have to do this today. Oh man, I really don't want to do this. You get all worried about doing it and everything. And, don't even enjoy the time you spent doing nothing, which is really the most important part. And then you still have to do this thing, and you're even less motivated now. You still don't want to do it, and you still have to do it. So, yeah. But for us self improvement people, that would be, first thing you do when you get up, you do it. You get it out of the way. So then you can lie down on your bed and be happy because you've done all the work you needed to today. You don't need to worry about anything else. And that's really the idea of Eat the Frog. It's that doing that first thing to do every day. And I know, especially for high school, a lot of the time, our Eat the Frog is really scheduled, like we have a really hard class or something, which is fine. That and in those cases, it's just at least don't do anything before it. It might be that your sixth period is really hard and you don't want to do it. Well, at least if it's there, maybe you have to wait. But if you're going to wait, at least make sure that you don't like watch YouTube or play video games in between then, and you keep your mind as fresh as possible. Because trust me, even if you don't eat the frog first thing in the morning, it is so much easier to eat the frog. Here's a good analogy. It's so much easier to eat the frog when you are starving than when you are full. Because when you're starving, the frog doesn't look so bad because you need food. But then when you're full, you don't even need food. Maybe you already feel like you're going to be sick if you eat anymore. And then you have to eat like this disgusting, slimy thing. It's not good. It's the same idea. If your brain is starved of dopamine, things like work don't seem too hard because your brain doesn't have that shoot up of dopamine. It doesn't want more dopamine. It's not craving the dopamine. It's never had it, or it doesn't really have it. So while it's craving the dopamine, it understands that this has to get done. And, you even get a dopamine release from doing it. So if you can even if you can't eat your frog first thing in the morning, at least make yourself hungry before eating it, and don't fill up on the bad stuff before eating the frog because that'll just make it all worse. And you know eh, every day your Eat the Frog might be something different. So what I recommend doing is writing, like, first thing in the morning, if you want to, is to grab your journal and just write down what your Eat the Frog today is going to be. Some days it might be studying, some days it might be recording, some days it might be making the shorts, some days it might be just simply working out. Maybe you had a day off from school, you don't have anything to do, so your Eat the Frog is just getting through weightlifting. Well, that can be your Eat the Frog too. Just make sure that you get that hardest thing done first thing in the morning. And if you want it to be even easier, go watch my intermittent fasting video, because that one, trust me, that one's really good if you want to help improve focus and clear your mind. So you know, but very important. Eat the Frog will help you in so many ways because it'll make you way more productive as well. Because by doing that hard thing first, you don't have to worry about doing that hard thing because it's already done. And then you can move on and do the things you want to do. You know, I don't always want to get up here in the morning and do this, but I do what needs to be done, you know? It's not like I just sit around doing nothing. And I would never be productive if I didn't do what needs to be done, you know? I would never be able to upload these videos and see the results I get if I don't record them. So, you know, it makes you way more productive and it will make you successful later when you actually need to do important things in life, like make money or take care of children or something like that. So, not only is this important now to get good grades, to get a good body, do everything like that, but it will be so much better later when you need to take care of a family, when you need to make money, when you need to do whatever. It will be so much easier when you're already in the habit of eating the frog. So let me tell you, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.